Welcome to Mount Rainier National Park. I'm really excited to be here. First reaction to Mount Rainier. Oh my gosh, I love it. Tall evergreen trees, dense forest. I cannot wait to hike this park. I am so excited. I think it's gonna be good. And not to mention that it is the end of July and I'm in a coat and it's 46 degrees out. Perfect for hiking. Mount Rainier. So I was gonna stop at the Bench and Snow Lakes Trail, but you go past the Reflection Lake Trail. And I could see it from the road. All the steam coming off it, I just had to stop. And I can really see Mount Rainier now. So we're gonna try the Snow Lake Trail, and we should get to see Snow Lake and then keep hiking further to get to Bench Lake. And it's just gorgeous out here. So Snow Lake Trail starts off pretty intense ascent, but it's pretty short, like not even a quarter mile. And now it's flattening out and I'm catching my breath. After Bench Lake, like the next 0.3 miles towards Snow Lake, maybe 0.2, this is like straight up, but it doesn't last that long. So I went by some kind of creek I could hear, but I don't know, I think we're getting close. Snow Lake is definitely worth it. In the shade it looks kind of turquoisey, but I gotta find a good place to get a picture of it. The water's so clear. And then I came around to, I think, what is the Unicorn Peak, and I don't think you'll be able to see it, but there's still some snow melt. You can see a waterfall coming down the side. See that snowbank? The waterfall is right there. It's really wild over here because you can hear the water going under this boulder field. It's a little creepy. Bench and Snow Lake Trail, great way to start my hiking at Mount Rainier National Park. I'm gonna try to kind of hoof it back a little bit though, because I'm hoping to get parking at Paradise, like the Jackson Visitor Center, and do the Skyline loop next. I think I'll make it. It should be around 9 by the time I get there on a Wednesday. And then on the way back from Snow Lake, you're facing Mount Rainier, so you get these amazing views while you go. So it's the end of July and it's a Wednesday, and I made it to the Paradise parking right about 9 o'clock. And it is getting kind of close to full. So I'd say on a weekday in the summer, I'd get here before 9:30 for sure. Yeah, but I got a spot and now I'm hiking up toward the start of my trail. I'm gonna do the Skyline loop. The beginning of Skyline Trail is no joke. You're climbing. I don't know why I do these things to myself. So really, up behind the visitor center, it's just like a network of all these trails that crisscross. So I hopped off Skyline to do the Glacier Vista. It's 0.2 and then it hooks back into the Skyline. So I'm like, well, why not? Why not see as much as I can if I'm going to crawl up this mountain all day? Probably can't really see it. There is a waterfall right there. So the glacier I'm looking at on the side of Mount Rainier, it says the snow that falls at the summit takes centuries to move down through the glacier to the end of the glacier, which is just wild to think about. I also read that you can hear ice tumbling, and I heard something earlier that sounded like a rock fall. I wonder if that was ice falling. Take all the little side trails, because not many people do, so it's a nice break from the crowds. But it's just so beautiful. I see why it's so popular. So minus the crowds, I'm starting to think this could be in my top 10 hikes. Like, you can see the whole volcanic chain from up here. Rainier's over here. Mount St. Helen. Another one. There's another one over there that we can't see right now. I gotta make more progress. I just keep stopping to look. It is gorgeous. I love this trail. I know I've said it a million times. It's just so beautiful. I recommend doing the Skyline Trail counterclockwise, although that's how most people do it. So, but it's neat because you do climb really steep at first, but you got lots of views of Mount Rainier. And then coming down, it's a lot of vistas of the valley and if you take the Skyline Trail counterclockwise, coming down, you can take the Golden Gate Trail to shave about a mile off, I think. But I decided to continue on the Skyline Trail because I love this trail so much. Come to a decision point. If I go up to Paradise Glacier, that's gonna add 3 miles. If that sign says it ends in 1.5, I'll go a little way, see what it's like. So on my way back down, I took the turn off for Paradise Glacier, and so worth it. I think because not as many people come out here. Unfortunately, The meadows are less trampled and the flowers are so pretty. There's so many more and so many butterflies and bees. Like, so glad I did it. Well, I made it to the end of the maintain trail, and it's not 1.5 to the end. It was closer to like 1.7-ish. So I think it's, once you come out and go back, it adds 1.5. But yeah, it was worth it. I guess that's Paradise Glacier somewhere up there. So you go down, down, down on the Paradise Trail. And you're like, oh, this is great. Then you get to the bottom and realize you have to go back up and over another mountain or hill or I don't know to go down to the visitor center. I'm not gonna lie, my feet and legs are feeling it.